Fellow citizens of Africa, I greet you in the name of the Universal Negro Improvement Association and African Communities League of the World. You may ask, what organization is that? It is for me to inform you that the Universal Negro Improvement Association is an organization that seeks to unite into one solid body the 400 million Negroes of the world, to link up the 15 million Negroes of the United States of America with the 20 million Negroes of the West Indies, the 40 million Negroes of South and Central America, with the 280 million Negroes of Africa, for the purpose of bettering our industrial, commercial, educational, social, and political conditions.
2023, we're in the month of February. It's kind of warm day out, and we just decided for us to do something natural. Chuck gonna do some drawing, and I'm gonna just run some stuff that's in the mind, and then some stuff that have been added in my books and my journals. And then I got this one book, this video series too, that's coming out. It's in a book form so far, and then we thinking about putting it in part form, and it's the highlights of fatherhood. I read it by a couple of people, and they said that this kind of content is vital and needed.
Vital.
How that came about was long story, short story, depending. For me, I'm cut out the long with me, but the short really got with my son when I had my youngest son that's 7. Shai's 33, and then I had my youngest son, Cavalli, 7, and I already did the college thing with my grown son, met my sisters. You start tape it, Chuck?
Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I already got to run.
Oh, you live?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what's up.
Let's keep going, you good.
Yeah, so I'm trying to really think of when it really came to me that I was like, yo, I need to really do
something different.
Yeah, really do something different. That came around the time. Obviously, this feeling and thought didn't come when Cavalli came. It was like prior 10 years. I was watching the ripple effects. A lot of my friends and my peers, black people in general, obviously, few white ones too, but most of my peoples, I was watching them in real time. I was watching my friends and my peers, and I was watching the breakdown of the family big time. And my son was away in Georgia, my daughter was in New York, so my children were scattered too. So it was really like 8 to 10 years before Cavalli existed, those thoughts was coming through me. And then I remember I was in Georgia, like checking out the family, or the family was splintered all over the place. Everybody had accolades and degrees on the walls, but they were just taking them shits out the door to the system, man. And I sat down on the couch that day, and I kind of added up how much money we was taking with them college degrees, and I think I stopped at like 4 something with my sister. My brother-in-law had his own trucking situation, my son with his degree. And I was like, yo, it would have been great if we could keep that money in the family instead of running for the man. So that's when, I remember now clearly, that's when I was sitting in Andrew's house when that fucking shit landed on me. And because I'm competitive with that maroon drive and that thing in me, I was like, yo, you know what? I need to do something different, yo, cause we got everybody had the cars and the houses, was proud of the kids with the degrees. Everybody was like, yo, my son is going to Georgia State, my daughter is going to Oxford, my daughter is going to Cambridge. And I was like, yo, we need to do something more. There gotta be more. And it just, a light bulb just go off in me. It was like, yo, you know what, nigga? When you get a next child, you don't send him to school, you keep that one close. Yeah, cause another thing that touched me, I was listening to my children, and I noticed they had this I seen it. They had this individual concept that it was pushing a lot in the schools. My first son let me felt that, because then it was kind of close, but the way he was like moving like them other kids that didn't have their fathers and didn't have no family, and I was like, nah, that ain't my son. That ain't just something between me and my son. So that's when I kind of realized, my son Shai let me realize that the education system, them 8 hours in a day, when you go left and your children go right, oh my God. Yeah, so that's when I called on. So, first and foremost, I must really add this too, that what make it work. It might not matter to a lot of people, but what really I really make this thing come off nice and beautiful with me. Cavalli, who is 7.5, Cavalli turned 8 this year. And what made me really turn the corner with Cavalli was, I could honestly say, Cavalli, I asked for that boy, man. I asked the universe for that boy. I sat and I prayed for him. I was like, yo, Father, yo, God, yo, universe, let me replicate myself one more time and let it be a boy. So I really asked for him. My first 2 children, I asked for them too, but not as hardcore, like, are not definite like how I asked for Cavalli. And then, so I just knew that I had to do something different with him, yeah, because I begged the universe for him, man. So when he came, I remember when Cavalli first came with his mother too, man, I was like, yo, I grabbed him like a football. I was like, touchdown. I grabbed that motherfucker, the doctor wiped him off. I was like, yeah. Yeah, man. I held him up high and I said, yeah, ancestor. I said, yo, I'm gonna do this one. I said, yo, fuck right, I'm gonna do this one. Fuck correct, I'm gonna do this one perfect. I always tell us, nothing not perfect, but now when you raise the children, them say you could do perfect. I can't really speak for grown-ups. Because the children, them pure, so I was like, yo, I'm gonna do this one perfect. So first thing I did was Cavalli. I was like, yo, I gotta take a pay cut, man. I was running, I had my own businesses and stuff, I had stuff going on, but I was like, yo, the ultimate, when you're making an ultimate sacrifice, you gotta give up something for something, you know? And normally when you're making an ultimate sacrifice, it never be easy, like just like relocating or just like losing weight. Usually an ultimate sacrifice come at the cost of your personal, something for you personal, or our next human being. Meaning either I gotta give up going over there with mama or being over there with that female or that son. So the ultimate sacrifice what I did for Cavalli was I ain't go to work. Cause I remember when I had Shaheed, I remember when I was young, a young father, I remember I used to put my children and my family and work in the same box. And I made a vow that I would never put my family in the same box again. I would make 2 boxes, the big infinity boxes for my fucking family and a small box for work. So when Cavalli made it, yeah, it's like basically everything that I did with my firstborn, I just flipped it. So I was like, yo, okay, that's a sacrifice. I'm gonna make less money more than everybody that I know, but I'm gonna get the most fucking results. And yeah, that's what you call that's trade-off right there. So I remember when I was trying to figure out first thing what I did too when Cavalli was a baby. And we was living like in a 2-3 family house. So I would stay up. So what I did too, we was on one floor of the house. I was separate from the mom. So I moved upstairs in the attic where we had some tenants, cleared out 2 rooms. I took 2 of the rooms, and I started staying in the attic. His mom was staying downstairs, and then I broke up the time. So Cavalli would stay with his mom up until she like 5, 6 in the afternoon. No, not even that late, but I say around 5. She breastfeed him, keep him, all that stuff. I could still do what I needed to do around the house, check in a couple of times here and there. But once 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock come, boy, I think some days it was 2, I don't know. But I just know, once I came down the stairs and I grabbed Cavalli, his mommy didn't need to see him no more. I had everything upstairs at the Pampers, obviously had his own space. So that was like kind of like the separation. I allowed her to give her time to like her own space. I remember even before when I had my first son and his mom wanted rest, I was still grabbing, but she would be right there with the noise and just a distraction. But this one, you know, everything just got better. I was like, yo, let me just remove him. So the mom would just like, you know what I mean, just be free when I grabbed him. And then I grabbed him, I would take him upstairs. And then, when from Cavalli was a baby, I always used to sing and talk to him in her mother belly. When I used to take him upstairs those evenings, I started making up songs for him. I would make up songs with his name. I would just make up songs and sing songs to him. And then I would just, I made up, I think I made up so much fucking songs, I could have do like a fucking double CD, like a Tupac drop to blood clot. Yeah, man. Anyway, I made up songs and then I would keep him on my chest a lot so he could feel my heartbeat. And then we just chill like that. Didn't do too much in the first. Yeah, I think the first 10 months something came up and me and Cavalli had to go to Georgia. So we were separated for 10 months. My pops was really sick. So I went to Georgia for like 6, 7 months. And then once I came back now, Cavalli was more up. Yeah, I think I left Cavalli when it was 2 months, went to Georgia, took care of my old man. He was in his last stages. And then I flew back to Connecticut, boom. And then once I grabbed Cavalli, I had a situation that was taking place in New York. Told the mom, I was like, yo, I'm gonna take the king to New York. She was like, fine, could do that. Big up to Tamika at that time. Don't know where her mindset is now, but I'm telling you, that girl, man, she's the best. King Mama call her.
Mm-hmm.
She was like, yo, man, take your son, man, take your son. I was like, what? Pack Cavalli back, take him go to New York. I was staying at my daughter's, was doing some business, hooked up with some people, was doing something, getting this we just got our dispensary license. We were one of the first few to get a dispensary license, thank God. Yeah, black man can't sell marijuana. We are legal. So I came down and we got the working on the license, and ended up, what I found out was prior to coming down to New York, I remember I would take Cavalli to the library every day, and then being that I know how to access information, because that was my thing too. I like to read a lot, I like to go to libraries and museums. So I was already accessing information and stuff. I was doing that from even with the first set of children, but with Cavalli just got better. So what I did, when I got to New York, what I did was I exponentially turned up what I was doing in the state of Connecticut. And fortunate and wonderful for Cavalli was that New York is the fucking unlimited, as y'all know, folk, unlimited fucking amenities, unlimited activities. So I could honestly say that clicked in like around the first month, not too long. Around the first month when I started was like, cause I haven't been in New York in like 6 years. So I didn't know what I knew, but I wasn't accessing the environment. But once I tapped in, then I was like, oh shit, we can't go back to Connecticut. We can only go to visit, because I was getting everything that we needed in New York. So when we started, I remember I started out slow, because I remember I told myself too, number one, I was like, yo dude, you're gonna be with the king. Don't rush nothing. Move at a God pace. Just take your time and you're patient with him. So I wasn't rushing nothing, because I remember too, I had to keep reminding myself that what I'm doing is new, never been done in my family. So there was no blueprint for it. So I was like, yo, you know what? I'm not gonna ask too much people. What I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go into myself, go into my studies, and the answers. Yeah, I really believe in the universe, and the ancestors was gonna send me the answers that I need in time. I really had to believe in the process. So what I did was, I remember clearly, I didn't really have a curriculum, because you gotta remember, Cavalli's like, where we at, New York 1 at the time, 2, just even said 2, because I figured from 2 to like say 4 in my mind, I'm like, yo, I'm just gonna take it light. I'm not gonna get too hard on nothing. You know, I'm just gonna do the first, from 2 to 3, 3.5, 4, it's just reading, loving, good diet, and just being around him. I was gonna say 24 hours a day, but yo, man, I've been with that boy so much, nigga. We broke the time barrier. A lot of that, yeah, and niggas don't know that. When you be with your son 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 4 weeks out of the fucking month, yo, time stands still, bro. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. So them days wasn't fucking 24 hours. Them days was just infinity, cause I would just one day just flow into the next. Yeah, so we don't use time. So the first 2 to 4 years is just singing, him getting to know me so much, cause yeah, like I said, I made a vow to. I remember I said to myself, I said, okay, this is what I will do. I kind of grabbed some stuff, some literature, I did some internet stuff, I connected back with some people, but I remember I warned myself just to take 10% of whatever I was taking, not to go nothing too hardcore, because I wanted this thing to be organic. I really totally believed that the universe was going to give me the answers. I really believed that my confidence was high and everything was just lining up. So I said I didn't want to use nobody's curriculum. I didn't want to use nobody's blueprint. I didn't ask for too much advice. I already had a couple of degrees under my belt from Jamaica, a couple of college courses in America. So I was like, yo, as far as educational wise, I was totally equipped. Ain't nobody sharper than Feta Son. And then Spiritually wise, I was grounded too. Give thanks for the original Rastam in Jamaica, meaning those are the Rastam. I was privy to know the Rasta in their pure form, the ones in Jamaica that's there to this day that you will never see unless you take a plane. So it's two fractions of the Rasta. The Rasta, the one with the dreads that you see in Jamaica, the ones that do the music, and Bob Marley them. Bob Marley is not from that sect of Rastas I'm talking about. Those Rastas that I was privy to see in real time that you will never see in the United States of America. They don't take planes. They're like the Amish in Pennsylvania County. They don't take planes. They don't use no man-made colonizer equipment. So they don't take the plane and come to America. They don't believe in visas, passports. They don't do education and that. They just live indigenous, natural. So I was privy to them. So I remember there was times when I would tap into those brothers, man. That's where I usually get my strength from too still. Because I remember them in my purest form, even though my mom used to warn me like, Junior, don't go around the Rasta man, then I'm going to kidnap you and kill you. So those brothers was my strength when I wanted to come originally. So like I said, so when the time come, I was like, yo, I'm not going to get too much other people's opinion. I'm not going to get too much homeschool people opinion, because at the time when me and Cavalli embarked on the journey, it was mostly really Caucasian people and a few blacks. And I noticed too, the 1 and 2 blacks that I did kind of peek that when I went on Facebook or YouTube, I ain't gonna lie, they still had a little bit of the colonizer smell upon them still. Like when I would listen to the mother or the father talk, I just saw, honestly, I would look in the background of the house, I was like, okay, they are homeschooling the kids. Because for me, I wasn't homeschooling Cavalli. That never crossed my mind. I only used that as a codified word to just keep everybody else at bay. But what I was doing with this seed that I planted when I replicated myself and his mother replicated herself, I was like, nah, with this seed, nah, nigga, I'm rescuing this one. This one ain't get the slave master whip. So, and this one is going to get my program. So it's not homeschool. I was homeschooling Cavalli. I was rescuing him. I was programming him, and I was pouring into him. So all these other blacks that I was seeing on the internet, they were still, like I said, they was homeschooling, because there was still a high percentage engaging in the, like the Muslim would have said, you know, the dunya with the kafirs, or the Christian would have said the unbelievers. So I didn't really want nothing from them. So what I did, like I said, most of my ground came from the original Rastaman them, what I remember leaving in Jamaica. So, yeah, so I just, like I said, I didn't rush nothing. I read, like, I remember no more than 25%. I never think at one time I went 25% with nothing, that whether I was processing it or writing it down, like, to, you know, to go forward with. I would just grab information and just really, really, really believe in the universe and the ancestors that everything's just going to work out in time. So Cavalli's 4, we're going on 3, 4, and like I said, the first thing that I would do is library. I remember it was the library every day. We go to the 5 days in a week, people. Library every day, 5 days in a week. So that's 5 days in a week. What 5? That's 20 times a month. Yeah, we did that from my tool. I take Cavalli to the library every day, And what I would do, I would grab 10 books. I remember I would grab 10 books when I first started. Yeah, 10 books wasn't natural. I didn't do the 1 or the 2 and all that other shit. I would grab 10 books every fucking day, man. So we read 10 books every day at 5 10s, that's 50. Yeah. 50 books a week we would do. That's when I was doing like the regular toddler section in the library. As time passed and progressed, obviously we went to more, and then it progressed till, well, I remember now, like in the second month, by just doing the 10 books every day, man, it got easier for me. I got more proficient. Cavalli was more acceptive towards everything too. So I remember now that instead of just going to the library now and picking 10 books, I would just go to the section and just grab the first fucking 10. That's how I started doing it now, cause now I'm picking up a rhythm. And then another funny thing, man, the first, so this like 5 years ago, I remember some of the books that I was grabbing, man, man, I got 2 daddies.
Oh, shit.
And growing up alone with mommy, when I remember I used to see those books a lot. That was like the first wave when they was telling the children and the school was like, yo, we need to siphon off some of these children's minds. And I would see those books. I'm like, yo, I'm glad I'm in charge. I'm really on top of it. Yeah, that was the first good feeling that let me know I was on the right trajectory. When they started pushing them books in the hardcore 2014, they was pushing them before, but 2014, 2015, they was going hard. So I remember there was times I had to take some of them books out and filter them too. So the librarians that was looking at me like, oh, he ain't touching them. I'm like, no, we not doing that. You don't need that. So it got to reading the book so much that obviously, like repetition. Somebody was loving that, man. That boy was loving them books. Was loving them books, man. Every day. So we would go from the reading every day. And feeding him was important to me too. I remember I made a vow, me and his mom, we was gonna definitely pay attention to his nutrition. So I was from, like I said, from 2 to 4, that's easy. Just a lot of reading. Definitely time. I never spent 24 hours a day. Now I know how the mothers feel when they had that baby in the womb for 9 months. That's how me and him was, to be honest. Now I'm thinking, man, respect you to the mother them. Mm-hmm. But that's how me and Cavalli was for them years, like that close. It's like it was just me and him. Mom was wherever she was in Connecticut doing what she had to do to take care of maintain. But me and him was like, yeah, me and him was like when she was in the womb for that time. It was just me and him. Day, night. I was the first face he seen in the morning when he wake up, and the last face him see at night. So we do the book. Yeah, while I'm doing the book, I'm being so regular in the library. I found that they had 2 libraries in the neighborhood I was staying in New York. So I started using both libraries. So what I would do, I guess we would do like the first 3 days at that library. Then the other last day, because one library had another apartment where they had like the public theater. They had a lot of costumes. It was more interactive. Even though the other one that we did the 3 days was a brand new library with high technology. The other one was a bit older, but it had more stuff that Cavalli and me could interact with. So I would use both of them during the course of the week, and then I was building up good rapport with the people that run the library. They started knowing me. They started watching me. They was like, what? So by me and Cavalli becoming so predominant in the library, like I'm saying, like we was there more than the fucking staff. No, I'm thinking, no, we was well known. So by becoming well known and so consistent, the librarians was well, they had like the schedule and stuff that I would read, but it was privileging me to insider stuff in other libraries. And obviously a lot of stuff they are free and funded by New York, but the average person wasn't tapping into these resources. Now fuck that, not even the average person don't do shit. I be warning my son, nigga, if you average, nigga, I'm walking away. Yeah, average people don't really do nothing. Average people are what the Bible talk about. Respect you to understand. I got a lot of y'all in my family. A lot of y'all is my friends. But average people are just sheep that the Bible talk about. Ain't nothing good or bad. I ain't got nothing good or bad about them. But average people, you just average. That's what they say. Make the shit up. So anyway, yeah. So nobody in the what I was doing wasn't even average, because that's where I got. Yeah. So I would access the information. They would privy me with tickets to other things, because the librarians, they was females. Most of them was females. And they would notice that 99% of the people in the community where we were staying, like Malcolm X said even best, like you want to hide something from them people that were them dark you, them melanated people, put it in a book. So basically the people wasn't accessing all these top-notch stuff that was going on in the library, like the major head library downtown in 42nd Street right here in Manhattan. So anyway, so that's so, like I said, everything was just happening organically. Then I started having a journal. I started getting penciling down things. Yeah, because I made a vow that I was gonna make Cavalli the King curriculum organically. I wasn't gonna ask nobody, because I'm the fucking driving this car. I don't need we're not doing that. So like I said, I'm just gonna let everything flow organically. So around that time, when the librarians, and I seen the power and the effect that me and Cavalli was having, because they seen us in harmony, they seen us in unison, and I seen what could become out of that. So I said, okay, I'm gonna use this as a catalyst now. And then I started sketching out a curriculum. Then I was like, okay, I'm gonna format it like this now. I'm gonna stop grabbing random books. We're gonna get to topics. We're gonna get to certain events. Yeah, and then I remember before we came to New York, Cavalli was already diagnosed like a musical savant because I had him going to classes. Yeah, I would recommend, not recommend, yo, this is a must. Secret, yeah, y'all get this one for free. But yo, I'm telling you, I'm not gonna recommend, I'm gonna take that one back. If you wanna start your children off at an even keel, I'm telling you, before they hit 2 or around that time when they're getting into the 2s, put musical instruments in front of your children. Yeah, that's what me and his mom did. So from he was 1, we had a keyboard and then we had these drums and all these things. So what I would do, I would put musical instruments in Cavalli. Then he would watch these programs. I would play instrument programs and I would watch my son and watch the instruments that he gravitate towards the most. And those was the ones I let him play. So he was messing with the keyboard. The keyboard was his favorite at the time. So boom, take him to the while he was 1, going on 2 before we went to New York, I remember now, I was taking him to piano classes and he was doing real good. And that's when we tapped in. So once I tapped into the music, if music is key, I would definitely recommend that to any single, together, family, whatever. Even for yourself growing up, that's the sounds. We wasn't doing all the other written word, we was just doing the sounds. So I started putting the instruments in front of him. He liked the keyboard, started adding the drum, the guitar. I don't play instruments myself, but I just had them. And then what I would do, because I don't play instrument, I wasn't gonna let that stop me from advancing with my son, man. So that's library again. Kick it with the sister and them in the library. I know how to get resources, access the resources, and then what I started doing now, I would take Cavalli 2 times a week, and this is way before I started taking him to lessons. He started going back to lessons when he was like 6, but we still talking about 2, 3, going into 4-ish. 2 times a week I would take him to Carnegie Hall. Yeah, I was accessing the Carnegie Hall website. I was accessing all of these programs in New York, the ones that cost and the ones that are free. So like even the Bronx Community College, all those colleges, they had music programs, they had acting programs. Some of them would cost like not too much. I don't even think there was a time I spent $30 for me in Cavalli. I think the most I ever spent was maybe tops $25 for a top notch. It was a rendition of The Lion King. But I still have to say, so 9 times out of 10, it was either free or $10. So I started taking him to live fucking concerts, people. Yeah, twice a week. Because I'm getting him feet. Because like I said, I don't play the instrument, so I just want him to pick up. I want to see what he gonna gravitate toward. Man, that shit was a hit, boy. That boy started dancing. He was one of the concerts. Yo, I'm not lying again. Sadly, yo, my people, yo, I'm loving them. Malcolm say, yo, if you want hide the shit from the people, then put it in a book. I'm telling you, if you want hide good music from blood clot, black people, as long as the instrument, as long as the nigga ain't rapping and making noise, they ain't gonna go. Me and Cavalli was going someplace. Sometimes we go, it was just straight fucking Japanese people and people from Korea. Yo, I ain't never seen nobody look like me. Some of them was free. Yo, I'm not lying. That's like average shit. Average niggas was not going. The moment I would see somebody black in there, I just automatically knew they wasn't fucking average. So, me and Cavalli, and that was another unique aspect too, because the places then that we was going, the Hispanics wasn't going. Jamaican people, I mean, I say none of them there. Black America, I love them, my children are. I wasn't seeing none of y'all neither. No lie, none of there. None of do them things. Your parents wasn't taking y'all there. Me and Cavalli was having fun. I was fucking up them white people head. Them Jewish people was there. They was asking me, yo, you playing a band? Cause yo, they was looking at me like, yo, the fuck is this black man doing? Is he rich? What the fuck he do? Why is he here listening to Beethoven and D and fucking Skazarki and C minor? Yeah, these are the things that I'm listening. I can't. Yeah, Cavalli was loving it. He was eating it up. I was like, okay. So during that music process, that's when I was like, okay, Cavalli, the keyboard was a smash. He already had that unlocked. So he wanted to do all these other instruments, like the ones that have behind me or so. Cavalli loved the acoustic guitar, man. That boy loved that guitar. He started banging that joint out. So I got him an acoustic guitar, got him an electric guitar with the amp. Then we got these things called the kalimba. It's like an old school African instrument. You play it with a finger, like an old school piano. It was an older version of a piano. I'm trying to remember the names of the instruments we had. I know one time that we had 9 separate instruments in the crib. I would buy them like every other week. I'd buy another instrument, and then I would watch the ones that he gravitates. I would never push him, force him, none of that shit. I just let my son. The ones that he touched, then the other ones they would just go to the side. We touch them here and there. The ones that he didn't care about on a daily basis, I would bring them out on a weekly basis because every weekend we'd have a jam sessions. And I would still bring them out, or sometime in the night time too I bring them out. But the 4 or 3 instruments that he was focus on, acoustic, electric, the keyboard of course, and he like conga drums, and the drums a little bit but different than conga. So it was 4 instruments that I let him focus on. Those was the ones I was like, okay, we're gonna go forward with those. So we was having a beautiful time. So now I'm building up this thing called, like I said, I build up this curriculum. So now we going from reading, I got that lot. Remember, we doing 10 books a day. Now we doing 2 musical or acting live. Gotta be live performances. I don't do movies and none of that shit. Sidebar. Another thing I want to add too. While from I had my king man. Man, I took that TV and dashed that shit through the window. I never watched no TV. No TV. No. No TV. No TV from Connecticut to New York. I ain't watched no TV, bro. No TV in my house, in my room. TV in other places where we stay. No TV. No TV. I wasn't watching no TV for me. So I didn't want him to even see me watching TV. So that way, because I knew there was gonna be a time if I was to still be alive and to be his word, I knew that there would become a time where probably TV would come and play, and then I didn't want to be a hypocrite and be like, yo, but daddy, you used to watch TV, and why are you telling me not watch this and that? So I say, you know what? To eliminate the little back and forth and the hypocrisy, nigga, burn TV like those original Rastas who I'm gonna tell about in Jamaica. That's what that king comes on. Nigga, fuck TV. Yeah, so just did it. No TV for me, no TV for him, and it just became natural. That's it. If it wasn't like pure content, good content, and I wasn't even giving him too much content per se. It was just really me too. Now I just stopped watching movies, all that bullshit, and it was just straight good content, black content, truthful content, factual content that I would watch to just keep me grounded and to give me more ideas and stuff to work with while we expounding and we're gonna expand. I remember now that I had the book curriculum unlocked, the entertainment and his musical ability, because I remember too, part of my mission statement was not to have my son because he wasn't going to school. So he wasn't following the program that was laid on from the colonizers. So I already knew too, me and his mom, we was not gonna let him program him to be this or be that. Cavalli is gonna be who the fuck he wanna be. So that's why I was like, yo, you wanna be a musician, you wanna be a teacher, you wanna be a doctor. The 5 to 7 different things that when you go to school they program you, like how they program me and program my sons. I was like, nah, we're gonna eliminate all of that. I'm just watch this kid, no expectations. You know what I mean? We just raising the man child up. And then when Cavalli would understand, so I would be like, son, I don't have no expectations of you. All I want you to be is a man, number 1, and number 2, I just want to equip you for when the time comes for you to make the greatest decision you're gonna make in your life. And if Cavalli was here, and I would say, Cavalli, what's the greatest? Are you asking Cavalli what's the most important decision you're gonna make in your life? And that's when you're choosing to make. The woman that you choose or the man that you choose is going to be the most important decision you will ever make. It ain't, for me at least, for me and from where I'm from. I was programmed to think that it's going to be college is like one of the most important decision and all that, or the money, no. The most important decision you're going to make in your life as a black man or a black woman is the person that you choose to bring forth yourself and replicate yourself with. So I wasn't, so me and his mom, we had no expectation. Cavalli don't need to be no movie star, or his riches is gonna be with his family. And I used to say that to him every day. I used to write it on the chalkboard so he could remember it. So it would just be the books. the books, live activities twice a week, like I said, and then I gave it like another couple of months, and then I introduced math. Then if you notice, I ain't touching no religion, I ain't touching no history yet. My king is just running. We just running from 2 to 4, and we just enjoying those, cause like I'm watching now, and I'm stacking up, and I'm coming into what I need to be as the greatest dad that ever walked in this family. So I was like, I'm gonna just let it happen organically. So around like by the time he's gonna hit 4, that's when I had the journal. I had a journal ready. I was writing other stuff down. That's when I had a full curriculum. That's when I had itineraries from all these fucking places now. I just got better and better. Cause like I said, I didn't rush nothing. I didn't plan nothing. And I didn't ask nobody. That's the number one thing I keep saying still. I didn't want to ask nobody. Cause I didn't want nobody to fucking tell me what to fucking do, nigga. It wasn't there with me. And his mother was when I had his mother back way, sideways, leg on my shoulder, making that motherfucker. So I ain't asking nobody for nothing. We gonna do this one dolo. Me, him, and mama. Mama ain't around. I'm gonna pray to the ancestors. Pray to my mother that passed and my father and my grandmother that I know. And I'm gonna ask them for insight. Everything is gonna come natural and organic. So like I said, I introduced math lightly, because I know he ain't gonna need that shit. He ain't gonna need no fucking math, not the way technology moving anyway. You know what I mean? I was like, yo, son, you ain't, unless you wanna be a chemist or engineer, you know, one of them shits. You know what I mean? Architecture, shit like that. I was like, yo, well, that's you're gonna study math, you're gonna do that. But other than that, nigga, I just showed him how to count money. That's it. Plus, by the time he go in the future, there ain't gonna be no paper money. It's gonna be like straight digital by then. We talking 20 years. So I didn't, so math wasn't never my strong suit, and I didn't make it like a strong part of the curriculum, but it was essential, so I added the math. And then we're doing 2 and 4. Obviously, them legs is getting stronger now. I had this hiking pack. You're gonna see, I wish I had some pictures and the videos to show you. I went on Facebook and bought this from these white folks in Connecticut when I went to Connecticut one week, and I bought the official backpack that the white folks carry with the children. I paid like, it was like whatever, it cost a couple of $100. I paid like $120 for it. Aluminum frame, like a hiking shit. And then I would put him in the back of this, strap him in and put it on my back. Oh my God, we would go everywhere. And I got videos to prove it. I got tons of content that I shot during those precious moments. I would take Cavalli everywhere. I would take him everywhere, and between touching 4 and get ready to touch into 5, like I said, I got the itinerary, I got everything written in books. I collected what I needed collected. I tapped into certain resources, because like I said, from birth till 4 is just daddy and the king. Daddy and the king, and that's it. I'm just warming up. But then no, so I said, once he made 4, nigga done attack, he know him food and boom, you know him want to eat, and he could keep up with that with them little legs too, still even though I'm still carrying shit. So once him hit 4, and I turn in at 5 now, cause September, month of the general. So once I September hit, and I'm going to be 4, and then in December, January, I'm going to be 5, 4 plus. That's when I added like 2 more things to the curriculum and to the agenda. And that's when we drop in the thing called history. So we drop in the history. And then I remember, I really want to add this. I remember, like I said, so I remember even I was like, okay, what kind of history? How am I going to do this history? Because like I said, I'm coming from the original colonizer program with the slave master and the oppressor and the Romans, them how they got me. So I'm looking at it hardcore with their approach, but I'm like, yo, you know what? I don't need to give my son no fucking slave master history, nigga. We ain't starting from what I'm saying. It's to start for black people again, like 16 with slavery. So I said, yo, I got it. I said, my son don't need to know about Nero too much. He don't need to know too much Aristotle. Or what the fuck them. He don't need to know nothing about the Greeks too much. He don't need to study all them Cicero and all them shits and robes. No. He don't need none of them. He just need them minutely. I remember that specifically. Because I remember when I was going to school and college, them crackers was just, the slave master, the colonizer was killing us with their shit, nigga. That's why we so fucking polluted right now. We think I act just like them. So I said, that was the number one shit. I was like, nigga, I remember I used to read some shit like, they had us reading shit, I can't my memory, but like Shakespeare and Canterbury Tales and All them fucking, yo, you know them, dog. I was not touching none of them. I was like, okay, so it made the process, it made the process easier. I remember even when, I remember one of the first books, what Cavalli really liked it too, was like, they're my Nancy stories, man. I got the original Nancy story book when I buy off of the internet. I had mad stores, I read them too. That was one of his favorite shit. I want to read to that nigga about no fucking, trying to think of all them crackers, but you know them,
the Greek philosophers and all.
Yeah, we was not going to do the Greek philosopher. Mm-hmm. None of that. So, starting out with the general, Marcus Garvey, picture up on the wall, picture up on the t-shirt, showing some Malcolm X, and this so me I go straight with it. Can't we get him in some of the unknowns them yet, but yeah, we get him on the staple, the ones them what the colonizer and what kill out and no one kill. So yeah, study that. Marcus Garvey, 100%. Malcolm X, 100%. Elijah Muhammad, 100%. Farrakhan, 50%. You know, the Maroons them, 100%. 80 billion%. Obia, 100%. Voodoo, zillion%. Nature, that we are dealing with. That's a banging. Tell him boy I'm great. I want to jump in on another thing. I remember too, when it came time to the spiritual and what we call religion, that part too, I had that. But I didn't add religion, I had spirituality, even though we had religion classes. Because on Friday, I would take Cavalli the Juma in the masjid to meet the Muslims. And I remember I told him too, I said, son, I'm gonna show you like a hack. I'm gonna show you like a quick hack. So I'm gonna show you. I said, I'm gonna take you to the masjid. You're gonna learn from the Muslims. We're gonna learn Arabic. Yeah, Friday we'll go to Juma. He stayed till after the class. This shit is free, folks. I know none of y'all motherfuckers ain't never even thought about that. Yeah, that one is free. I should charge y'all. Y'all need to cash out that shit or whatever they do that shit. Y'all need to send that one. Y'all never thought about that one. This is so real talk. I know none of y'all ain't never even thought about this. This is how you get free, top-notch religious instruction where that is concerned. If you got the time, and especially for men, y'all need to do this. Cause one thing I made sure I had to do. I didn't want Cavalli to get second-hand religion or spiritual information like how I got it, like how my peers got it, like how my father got it. So I was like, yo, no, I'm going to take him to the source. So we was going into the masjid on Friday. Juma, the Imam, he know the Quran, he know the basic Arabic letter. And the second thing I tell him once we went, I was like, nigga, no, we ain't no Muslim, we are Jamaican, we are Rasta, Africa, we come from. Respect due to the brothers and sisters, but now, because we come from before that time. Come from before Islam, come from before. Respect due to the Hebrew Israelite them too. We did them guys on Saturday. Right down there, 125th, Cavalli had a conga jump class. That's another thing, we had the jumps. But anyway, so it was Juma Friday. You know, the Iman, the dress, the boom. But yeah, what I wanted to say, I tell my son too, I said, yo, once you know Islam and you know how Muslim live Cavalli and you take your Shahada, I said, Cavalli, that will take you around the world. Because once you go to Africa and anywhere in the Middle East, all they speak and all they deal with is Islam. So I said, yo, I'm going to give you a key hack. I'm going to show you how to make salat, how to understand the Quran, how to talk. All you got to do is, yo, as-salam, you're the show up in Nigeria, Kenya anyway, backpack on your back. Yo, assalamu alaikum, my name is Cavalli, I'm from America, can you show me to the masjid? And I'm going to be like, what? And then they're just gonna deal with your feeling. Next thing you know, you just sit down in a Talim circle and you're good to go. That's a key hack. So it was Juma on Friday. And like I said, the Muslims them run half of the other rest of the world. They claim that Christianity is the #1 religion. It probably was in my time, but Christianity heyday is gone. All of the Christian them gone. So Islam is the strongest, or the most dominant. I would say the Jew them stronger. But anyway, so we do Juma Friday. Take him to my hand to the Israelite them. The brother them want make a whole up a bomber clap nice with a shout loud like fuck. Them have on the purple on the fridge. Respect Jew to them still, because I respect all the brother them put in them work. Everybody play their part.
Was that the 5% then?
No, that's not the Hebrew Israelite. They want to know what free of Kanye West and have everybody
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would take him to those on Saturday. And then, because we come from the original Rastaman, I'm from the indigenous. See, I'm used to indigenous living. It's kind of hard for me really to go sit down with somebody in America with a suit on or some clothes and some shoes on. Cause I'm a bushman. I know how to go in the bush. I just sit on I used to sit on the rock by my house in Jamaica and just talk. So I don't know what a preacher need to do for me or an imam need to do for me. That's where I come from. So I don't really need all of that. I don't really need all of that like most people. So anyway, we do. So when I be around the Hebrew brothers, then like I said, a lot of time they would be like, yo, brother, they would try to get me engaged, but I kept it real. I was like, yo, I really bring the man child here so y'all could, you know what I mean, give him the information and all that stuff. But y'all niggas ain't telling me nothing. I respect Jew, but yeah, y'all can't tell me nothing. We are in America and Babylon together plus, I ain't want to get into details. Love the brother them. They was very effective for Cavalli. Saturday, we do Israelite lessons. I know y'all know what's gonna happen on Sunday now. Sunday, guess where we're going? Church. Church. No founder of the children, no, y'all don't even take them to church. I agree that the church, the black church, obviously especially, ain't what it was and ain't what it's supposed to be. But I'm saying it still have its value still. Cause somewhere that the lies them, where them always have the truth. Around the lie them, brother. So I would still recommend where some of y'all broken up shit and y'all do the clubs and the internet and the Netflix. I would recommend anybody that still do Netflix and still do the clubs and still whatever. I would recommend you still take your children up in church. Just for the balance, just to get it, cause it's free. You gotta get it. So Friday, Juma, Saturday, Hebrew, Israelite, Sunday. Dude, that's three religion. We banging them out. We ain't watching this on no internet. We ain't reading no books. I'm taking him around these men in real time. Because another thing I tell my son, because of the age gap, Cavalli came in my life when I was 45, and I was always aware of that too. Still, was like with big shout out to Mujahid, my first one. I had him when I was 19. Still had the future. Future was far in my head. When I had Cavalli at 45, my youth was behind me. The best year obviously still in front of me, but my youth was behind me. So I was always cognizant of the fact that every day was precious and every day I get closer to going through that portal. So I would impact everything. I had no time to lollygag. Even though I was moving at me and Cavalli pace, but I wasn't leaving no room for them. I would impact. That's how come everything, once we started on a journey, we just go hard. So so it was religious study, and those was religious studies. I had those, So I want to back up a little bit. So it's when it comes to homeschooling, it's only 2 states, maybe 3. I know definitely. God is so good. The universe real great. By the time me and Cavalli mom decided that we're gonna embrace what I'm called homeschooling, by the time I did the basic research, I found that Connecticut and 2 other states. I think it's Wisconsin. I know Minnesota. One of them states with an M, and I think Wisconsin. I know it's 3, maybe 4 now at the time. Those 3 states, Connecticut included. Connecticut was one of the states that when you're homeschooling your child, you don't need to go to the board of education. Their board of education do no paperwork. But what will happen is if you decide to put your child into school, then obviously you got to take them to the board of education, make a schedule for testing and all that, and then you get tested if you want to put your child back into the public school system. But Connecticut was straight gung-ho. You ain't got to report nothing. I was like, what? When I read that shit, I was like, perfect. I didn't even know that. New York, now, on the other hand, and the rest of other states, obviously Jersey, Georgia. First, New York wants you to register or make it be known, make an announcement to them that, hey, I'm going to send my child. And New York wanted you to keep a track or whatever, which that's what I did. And I think every year or every other year, New York kind of demanded that you show some kind of follow-up or, your portfolio, your paperwork, whatever names they got. So because me and Cavalli Connecticut bound, still here Connecticut resident, I had to worry about that even though we was going back and forth through New York. But what I did, obviously, I documented every fucking thing that I was doing with the king. So I document them obviously with books, definitely documenting them with videos, and I would document every fucking play, excuse me, of course, every play that I would go, every event, every concert, anything, I would take a picture or I would keep the memorabilia. So we got boxes of memorabilia and tickets for everything. So I would just document everything too, because by going forward, I was like, yeah, man, if the state of New York ever try to run up on me, I'm gonna fuck their head up. And if Connecticut ever asked me to come aboard, because I was getting a little bit cocky too, the way I was feeling with it, obviously because Cavalli was receptive. I said, yo, it seemed like I'm onto something here, man. And if these colonizers was to ever call me, I'm gonna bring my documentation, my proof, a concept, and fuck their head up. So once I had the documentation locked too, it made me even more fearless, because I was like, yo, I got shit that even teachers don't do with their children. So if these motherfuckers call me, they gonna fuck up. Matter of fact, they might not even want me on the intake, because they gonna be like, yo, this motherfucker unleashed the
beast.
Unleashed the beast. and unleashed the beast using all the stuff that the state of New York got for funding for free or for low cost. I was just using all of that. So, religious studies was on the curriculum, and within the religious studies, then Saturday too, so we kill two birds with one stone. Because Saturdays, like I said, is when we do the Hebrew Israelite, but Saturdays is when after we do the Israelite class at 12, then we go to Marcus Garvey Park, and we get into the spiritual realm, because Cavalli was the youngest and the lead for the Marcus Garvey drum circle, man. I got some videos. Next time when I want to see them, enough elders, these people been in Harlem since like the 40s and the 50s and shit. I think we had one elder, he passed away a couple of years ago. He was one of the oldest. He was born in the 1925, same age like my dad. Wow. But anyway, Cavalli, so the spiritual, we would sit around them elders, man, and beat that conga drum, man. We beat that Congo, we beat the djembe. A lot of y'all don't know that when you see all those drums, you gotta pay attention. The drums is in different sizes. It's not just different sizes, they are for different reasons. Some drums is for opening, like when you're gonna, like when you pick up the phone and say hello, and some drums are for when you say goodbye. Me and Cavalli's learning these things while we go into the Marcus Garvey drum circles, and the elders them is teaching him. So Cavalli, so I started knowing that he started learning that in Africa where we from, where the ancestors is from, that the elders fucking pick the skin. Yeah. You pick the fucking, you get the goat from him young, and elder said, yo, you see that kid there, that young kid there, we gonna grow him, and we gonna use the skin to make the drum. And then they take the child in the forest too, and they pick a tree from the child young. Y'all don't know these things. Yeah, them drum, the way you see the African brother, them the real one, them not talking, look a good one, them still that's in America or whatever. I'm talking about the real drums that we use in Africa. Not for music and dancing and shaking your ass. The real drum, the one we used to send messages, to make announcement, and to tap into the unseen. Yeah, they make special, them drums, they're not just, you observe. So, those drums, some of the drums that Cavalli was privy to, the elders, like I said, those drums, you pick the tree, you grow the tree from it young, bro. And you chop down that tree there. And a matter of fact, I remember what the elder was telling me in Cavalli was, before you even chop that tree down, you gotta make sure you collect seeds from it, or you cut it out, you know, them do splice it, if you can't get the seed, propagate it like in water. Anyway, you gotta make that tree that you're gonna use to make the drum, the wood for the base of the drum, you gotta make sure that tree replicate itself before you chop it down to make the drum. Mr. White people never know. And when you're gonna make, and the skin that you see on the drum, that's made from wood. And it's funny, they don't use cow. They don't use the cow skin for whatever reason. I forgot, but I know it's only goat skin. And the goat that make that drum, the original ones that they use in the motherland, that goat's supposed to be with the child that is gonna serve from he's young. And then when the time comes to put the goat skin, where you're gonna use the goat skin for dry and stretch it for the drum, you kill the goat, obviously, and eat all of the meat and give thanks to the universe. And then you eat the meat, you eat the food and to fulfill you, give you substance, and then you make your drum. So Cavalli was learning all these things for free. For free. That the elders them was loving him so much, we was getting invited to Africa, Senegal, Gambia. Them one can go every bum buckler with them love the man. And the way he was really receptive to the drums. One of them times I could have posted so you could see. So that was Saturday, every Saturday was booked out. And he was loving it so much that sometimes when we had to go to Connecticut, I would have to schedule the leaving time after the drumming, and that touched me a lot. That let me know that boy just through the history of the drum and the way the elders them like gave it to him and just deal with him. Yeah, that boy ain't gonna forget that one. So I know he gonna play the drum don't the reason why he don't carry the drum everywhere you go, 'cause obviously the shit kind of heavy and cumbersome. But yeah, he would carry that more than the guitar. So once I kind of got the where we had this spiritual and the religion. Once I got those I already got math lock, then the religious studies and the spiritual studies was kind of like the last of the curriculum that I draft up, and then we was on the road. So from 5 to 6, I had a whiteboard. This is what Cavalli Day would look like. We get a 5:30 in the morning. I get a 5:30 in the morning. Oh yeah. Yo, this one is key too. Yo, man, now like you see that 8-hour, man. Jesus Christ, that 8 hours when you go to work and the slave master them, the kafa, the gin them are the most precious thing. Yo, that shit blow my mind. Yo, I shouldn't even be talking to y'all people, yo. That shit blow my mind. I can't believe that I went for that shit and gave away. That's why even my grown son that's 34, God bless you, King, and my daughter that's 28. That's why I'm kind of like average and them whatever America bring. Yo, cause I said to say this. You see that fucking 8 hours, man? That you put your children, you send and you separate your children. Y'all don't even know what the fuck that shit. Well, y'all should know. Just go in the mirror and look by yourself. Go in the yeah. This is homework for you grown up. When you finish listening to this, go in the freaking mirror. Look by yourself, ladies. Look by yourself, gentlemen. Right? Probably I'll go into your wardrobe. Maybe not. Just look by yourself. And while you're looking at yourself, think about your parents that came before you. Think about your uncle and auntie where you don't fuck with. And all the other people in the neighborhood. You know, think about your selfish self. Think about your mother and your father. Most of them understand it too. If you don't have the father, but just think about it. That 8 hours. That single mom or that family still, the dad, truck driver, fireman, whatever. That dad go that way 8 hours. The mother go that way 8 hours. And y'all put that beautiful, the most precious blood clot thing on your picnic rasta. No, yo, that's undeniable. Nigga, fuck a mansion, fuck a college degree. I peep that shit, B. And that's why them set that shit in the right. I thought, yo, yeah, when you're looking at the mirror, be honest. Go look at your fucking children. And if you ain't got no children, motherfucker, go look at your nieces and nephews, them, and you gonna know what I'm talking about.